Well, thank you very much, and a very pleasant good evening to all, wherever you may be listening from, as we do welcome you inside Zeppo's here in Pullman, Washington, as it is your Washington State University Cougars Soccer Coaches Show. And with us, of course, tonight, as always, head coach of Washington State University Soccer, Todd Shulenberger, as the Cougars fresh off a trip to Los Angeles, and now they get ready for a couple of matchups at home this week. And Coach, again on a Monday night, good to see you again. Great to be back here at Zeppo's and ready to do this all over again for another hour.
Hi, I'm Steve. Thanks for having me back, and thanks for everybody come out tonight and support Cougar Soccer, and let's get this thing rolling.
Absolutely. We are down now to the final couple of home weekends left, and overall we're getting down to the final 3-4 weeks of the regular season. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, as again we do welcome you here to Zeppo's, and again Washington State University fresh off that trip to Los Angeles and took on a 13th ranked Pepperdine team to open things up in Malibu on Wednesday night, and came out of the gate, gave up an early goal, but then I thought really had a great response. You guys came back and scored a couple of goals, took a 2-1 lead. Talk to us about that first half and the first 30 minutes or so and what you saw out of your team down in Malibu.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely came out slow, I felt like. Maybe in awe, a little bit of gaze of where we were playing, overlooking Malibu Beach and whatever the case may be. But we're 8 minutes, we're down a goal, and a great response from our team. And Megan scores. Megan, we'll talk to her shortly. She scores the goal to tie us up, and then has an assist with Grayson. We're up 2-1 at halftime, and honestly in control of the game. And second half, not getting into the details, so we got a second yellow card. I mean, I think when that happened, I even think the referee at the time thought, I don't know if this should be another yellow, but he gave it. Regardless, we had to play down a player now. So we're down a player now for 42 minutes to be exact, which anybody knows in any sport. Unlike soccer, you got to play down a player for 42 minutes. You're up 2-1, and the girls really fought hard, and we ended up losing 3-2, as you know, but had plenty of chances to tie that thing up down a player. But I'm proud of the response. Disappointed on how a game got dictated like that when you had a team on the ropes, but it just didn't come through.
Yeah, again, Megan Santa Cruz, she's going to be our guest here tonight. We will be visiting with her in about 15, 20 minutes or so, and she'll come up here for a segment or two, and we'll get a chance to talk to her about Cougar soccer and talk about the Cougs in general, as again the Cougars taking on both the Pepperdine Waves and Loyola Marymount. The early goal you gave up, just your thoughts on that, and for the people that didn't get a chance to see it on Wednesday afternoon, just your thoughts on that. And then again, as you mentioned, the response for you guys to come back and score 2 quick goals.
Yeah, we gave up a silly goal, I felt like, in the first couple minutes of the game, and but the response was great. And what's disappointing is that we were leading that game. And again, you're up 2-1 against number 10, number 13, whatever poll you're looking at, and it just, the way it ended up was difficult to swallow. But I'm really responsible. I'm really proud of their effort through that, and adversity set in, and we had to change shapes. And again, when you're playing down a player, you got to do what you got to do. But I liked how they ended, even though we didn't get the result.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you're not a coach that is typically nor normally into moral victories or anything at all like that, but just again, to see the way that game flowed, do you walk off the pitch going, all right, maybe we were just as good as Pepperdine, if not better, especially when it was 11-on-11?
I mean, it's not about we were just as good, we were better. But at the end of the day, we lost the game. Yeah. That's just reality. Regardless of the ref, you blame whatever, we lost the game. But were we better? Yes, but we lost the game. That's the facts.
Yeah, so you then come back and you take on a Loyola Marymount team on Saturday night and end up with a 1-1 draw, and your thoughts about the way you guys played against Loyola Marymount.
Again, leading that game there, Loyola, they got 8 wins, and they're a great team and done a great job this year. Foggy night, rainy. It was a weird night, all the stuff coming off the marina there, and it was a back-and-forth game, but we knew that every game was going to be tight like that, and any result on the road is a good thing, so we'll say that. So coming home, do we want 2 wins? Yes. Would I have taken 2 ties? Absolutely. But you get what you get, and now we just got to move forward.
Yeah, and so as you get these 2 games under your belt, and again, going in that there were opportunities, and as you mentioned, you got the 1 result, were able to get a tie, and that helps you out in the standings. Unfortunately, the things that were beyond your control kind of helped you not get the result that you wanted against a nationally ranked team in Pepperdine. Now the fact that you've got 4 out of the final 7 at home, and you look at the schedule and you look at the finish to the season, that's kind of is it fair to say backs against the wall to truly try and come out over these next 4 weeks and get results? And by results, I mean not only just ties but also wins for Washington State.
100%. I don't sugarcoat it. You know that. So I told you last week it was separation week. It didn't happen. Now I'm not saying it's desperation, but the reality is we got to get results. We got to win. It's not about tying. The NCAA doesn't have overtime anymore. That's just where we're at. We got to get results. We got to find a way to win these games. We win these 2 games, you're right back in the mix. But that's what it comes down to. It's a must weekend here for us.
You get a matchup against St. Mary's. That's going to be Wednesday night. You get Portland coming up on Saturday night. Both games, of course, are going to be at Lower Soccer Field. And as we kind of take a look at what's been going on across the West Coast Conference, you guys are right there in the middle of the standings, right? And so when it comes to the middle of the standings, obviously these final 4 weeks are going to dictate whether you're up and near the top and in the conversation or whether you're not there. And again, it all comes down to what you're able to do as far as results are concerned.
Yeah, middle's like tying. We don't want to tie. We don't want to be in the middle, right? I want to be at the top. That's just who I am. It's who our team is, our program is. This is what we fight here to do. Middle means nothing to me. Let's be at the top.
All right. Again, Washington State University and the Cougs home for a couple of matches this week. Would love to see you out at Lower Soccer Field again. The first matchup going to be Wednesday night. St. Mary's coming to town, 7 o'clock. Your next chance to watch Cougar soccer from Lower Soccer Field. Then Saturday night, Portland makes their way to town. It's a short trip up to Gonzaga, so more or less 3 matches that if you really want to, you can certainly catch all 3. It's not that far to get up to Spokane and root on the Cougars up at Gonzaga, kind of make that maybe home field advantage for the Cougars up in Spokane. And so 3 close to home before they wrap up a trip down in the Bay Area to Santa Clara and San Francisco, and then Oregon State and Pacific to wrap up the regular season. Happy to have you with us as we're just getting things started. Again, our guest is going to be Megan Santa Cruz, a sophomore from Burbank, California. We'll visit with her coming up in about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little less than 20 minutes. And again, we're just getting things started here from Zeppo's. U.S. Bank, a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Just getting things started with the head coach. We'll come back, have another segment with him. And it's next. It's your Cougar Soccer Coaches Show, live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor and a strong, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. I'm excited to introduce someone who's familiar with achieving greatness.
Hey y'all, this is John Mateer, a quarterback for your Washington State Cougars, and I've got to give a shout out to Krista. I always knew Krista was someone I could rely on. She's always got my back. Thanks, Krista, for being more than just a business associate, but truly a friend and an ally.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
Fall is here and so is football season. But before you hit the stands, let's get your look game ready at the Man Shop. From straight razor fades giving your haircut a sharp polished finish to hot towel shaves that'll make your face feel as sleek as a polished stone. Not to mention beard shaping and goatee services and a full line of grooming products. Located at 1025 East Main, the Man Shop is a go-to spot for a fresh look this football season. So before you cheer on the Cougs, make sure your hair and beard are in top form. Visit the Man Shop today, where every cut is a win.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Well, happy to have you with us. Again, we come to you live from Zeppo's. It is your WSU Cougar Soccer Coaches Show, and with me, the head coach of Washington State University, Todd Shulenberger, as we continue to talk about Washington State University soccer as we are into the month of October now. And again, a couple more weekends here in October, 3 to be precise, where the Cougars hope to be on the elevator moving up when it comes to the West Coast Conference standings, and a chance to visit with the Cougar head coach. I also noticed during the break some photos being taken. You got a good friend, and can we talk about that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
A good friend in town here tonight?
I do. I got my old college soccer teammate, believe it or not, from back in the day, Marco. He's here to come out. He's been out watching Cougs and supporting the Cougs, and he's in town running away from the hurricane, so he came up to the Pacific Northwest.
Remind everybody again where you played your soccer at.
Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty good?
Yeah, we were in the NCAA tournament every year. That's for sure.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, we were good.
All right, again, Washington State University getting set to take on a team in St. Mary's in Portland as you get ready for now a Wednesday, Saturday weekend at home. Kind of take us through the preparation. And I know that your thought and your process right now is all about St. Mary's. What do you know about the Gales as we get ready for a matchup coming up on Wednesday night?
It'll be a great game. 2 years ago we beat them. Last year they upset us here. So it's going to be a battle like every game is. And we had a really good practice today, I felt like. And tomorrow will be a lighter session leading into the game, but it'll be a big battle.
Yeah, I mean, St. Mary's is a team that is pretty much right there in the same spot in the standings as we are, aren't they, as far as right there in the middle of the West Coast Conference?
They are. They're right there with us, and a great coach they have in Teresa. That she's a Husky, and she played there and then coached Notre Dame, and now back at St. Mary's, and we expect nothing but a great game Wednesday night.
If they have a style of play, what kind of style of play would you define St. Mary's of having, or do they have a specific style?
I mean, they do. I mean, I think their identities as a normal California team want to keep the ball, want to try to move you around and shift you and do things like that, and we'll see if they're up for the fight because we're gonna. It's bounce back. It's get after it this week for us. So we have to come in with a whole different part of intensity here.
When you go through these different weeks and these different teams in the West Coast Conference, especially since we were forced into switching conferences, does your game plan, as a coaching staff, and I'm sure it's probably a little bit, there's always a gray area. It doesn't seem like it's always black or white, but I mean, is it more dictated on what you're doing? Is it dictated on who you're playing? And I'm sure, like I said, it's a gray area, a little bit of both, but do a lot of teams in this conference play the same style, or is it?
No, LMU was completely different than Pepperdine. LMU was let's put the ball into the forward's feet, their head, and flick it on and cause all kind of controversy. They were way different than Pepperdine, and I think we want to control and what we do, but at the end of the day, there's teams where you're just gonna have to do what they got to do and find a way to beat them. And
is that do you have the same type of teams playing this week at Lower Soccer Field, or are they completely different in your mind?
Yeah, both teams will play similar, Portland and St. Mary's, they will. But I think Portland's going to be a little bit more physical. I'm not necessarily saying they're going to be more athletic, but, St. Mary's does a great job of what they do. And, again, they beat us last year, so we got to go.
And two teams, like we said, right there in kind of the same situation that we are in. So, again, kind of if you're looking for that team to climb out of the pack and to get into the top echelon of the standings, a big weekend for really all the teams that are playing this weekend as far as this group of games between these four teams.
For sure. Like I said, Santa Clara tried to separate a little bit, and we were trying to do that. We're not there yet. So we're in a little bit of catch-up mode, and as long as we catch up and take care of this weekend, we're right back in the ballgame. But, again, it's a matter of Wednesday night first.
Anybody as far as in either match, and obviously we're going to talk to Megan here coming up in a little bit, but anybody that kind of struck your eye has had a really good weekend for Cougar soccer as far as out and on the pitch for you?
I mean, Nadia Cooper continues to be, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper not only in the conference but on the West Coast. That's a fact. And she's made some crucial saves, some big saves. And, of course, a lot of players on the team have done a great job. But if you're going to be specific on who really has done it, it's been Nadia.
Nadia?
Yes, 100%.
Again, Washington State, a couple of home matches. Would love your support. It makes a huge difference if you're out at Lower Soccer Field and supporting this team, and they are going to be there again for a couple of matches this weekend. Last time that they were in town, a matchup against San Diego, so now they get St. Mary's. And then Portland against St. Mary's is going to be 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Sunday night, it is going to be a 7 o'clock matchup against the Portland Pilots. So, again, looking forward to see you at Lower Soccer Field. You can earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. You think Megan's ready for us, or do you think are you ready to go, Megan? All right, we'll bring Megan up. We'll get to her in just a couple of minutes. We'll visit with one of the Cougar players on this team, and we'll do it when we return. It's your U.S. Soccer Coaches Show with Todd Shulenberger, and we'll visit with Megan Santa Cruz. It's next. This is Cougar Soccer and your Cougar Soccer Coaches Show from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Why did that not play? Oh.
Jan from Toyota here. At Toyota's National Sales Event, there's still time to squeeze more fun out of summer with a new Camry, RAV4, Corolla, and more. So go on, squeeze your extended family into a Highlander for a family reunion.
Everybody in. Tammy, Teddy, Toady, Tommy, Toby, Terry. Wait, where's Rex?
Or stop for some fresh squeezed lemonade in a Prius.
Ooh, how much?
$15.
Okay, now that's a squeeze.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
There's some great sports action happening on your Pullman radio stations, and you can be a part of it. We broadcast WSU football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and baseball, along with the WSU coaches shows. We also carry Pullman High School football, boys and girls basketball, and PHS baseball. Now, sponsorship packages are available for you to reach our listeners. Don't miss out on this opportunity to let our local community know about your business and what you can do for them. To advertise, call 509-332-6551, and we'll take good care of you.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor and a strong, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. I'm excited to introduce someone who's familiar with achieving greatness.
Hey y'all, this is John Mateer, a quarterback for your Washington State Cougars, and I've got to give a shout out to Krista. I always knew Krista was someone I could rely on. She's always got my back. Thanks, Krista, for being more than just a business associate. You're truly a friend and an ally.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
We are back here to Zeppos. Happy to have you with us again. It is your Washington State University Soccer Coaches Show. With me right now, it is the head coach of Washington State University Soccer in his 10th season, Todd Shulenberger, and also sophomore midfielder Megan Santa Cruz, who joins us, a sophomore from Burbank, California. Megan, first of all, thanks for joining us. How are you doing tonight?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
It's fantastic to have you here, and we get ready to talk a little Cougar soccer. First of all, let's get a little background on you. You're a sophomore now with Washington State University. I know that you had a fantastic freshman season last year. You were named as part of the conference's all-freshman team. What was it like just your first year from going from high school soccer, club soccer, and then playing NCAA Division I soccer at Washington State University?
Right, yeah, it's obviously a big transition just because I think the pace and just the size of a lot of people are just really different, but I think that I had great people around me, and I had great teammates, and I learned a lot from the older girls, and I was able to kind of adjust to the pace and kind of get my feet under me, and it was really great.
Who were some of those upperclassmen that you leaned on your freshman season that you were able to learn from to kind of help you transition from club soccer and high school soccer into NCAA Division I soccer?
Grayson was someone who I went to a lot when I just had needed help at halftime or advice, just because I kind of always looked up to her, and I feel like we both kind of have a very similar play style in that we're very aggressive going forward, and we just have a lot of technical ability. So after she had gotten injured, I kind of had to step up to that and play that right forward role. And I went to her a lot just for kind of guidance because I had never played that position before, and she was really helpful in helping me out with that.
What positions did you play back when you were in high school and club soccer?
In club soccer, I played the 10, which is a center attacking midfielder. I would sometimes play up at the 9, but not too often. I played the midfield most of the time.
Okay. And so Todd, help me out with this. From her position, is she kind of, if you look at that right channel, she's the one that wants to kind of push it up and kind of, as far as your attack when you're going on the offensive side of things?
Yeah, it depends on where she's playing. She could play central, as she did all weekend, or she could play on the right flank. Just depends on the game and who we're playing and what we're looking to do that game. I mean, Megan's qualities are, she likes to take players on. She's a great ball striker, and she's very shifty on the ball and get at players. So we want her to have the green light in those moments to do that. So it just really depends on her opponent, what we're trying to do.
What did you see out of her when you saw her play in California, and also when you saw her play, was it LA Surf that she played for when it came to her club soccer? What did you see from her when she was at those two different locations, both at high school and with the LA Surf?
I mean, she has that killer approach when she's on the ball, and she wants to make things happen. So that's one of the things that stood out, is that let Megan be Megan and let her have the ball and do the things she likes to do. And if she's isolating somebody 1v1, I mean, I give the example of the Stanford game, where I think a player like that, the six you played against in that game, that Megan, I mean, just took control of the game. And that's what she does best, is when she's at the ball at her feet.
Megan, you were able to get the goal down in Malibu. Talk to us about that goal and talk to us about what you saw and how that play kind of developed for you.
So it was kind of, we talked about it earlier actually in Scout, that it wasn't maybe the prettiest goal, but we worked hard as a team, like all together, and it was kind of bouncing around a little on the top of the box, and I kind of like knew in my head that like I had to be ready for kind of like a ricochet, and it kind of bounced off someone, and I just turned and hit it with my left foot, and I had some power and got the deflection.
What's the feeling like when you score a big goal like that? I mean, is it? Is that the best feeling you have on a soccer field? Is when you are a goal scorer, or is there something if you make a great tackle or you make the key assist on a game? I mean, is there a certain thing as a perfect play in soccer that gives you, or have you experienced that yet?
Yeah, I feel like just any big play in general, just knowing that you made the right decision and you like made the right play is kind of when I feel best about it, just because I know I did my part and my teammates do their part. And so like if it is assist or if it's a goal or if it's just the right tackle or the right pass, I feel like that's like the best feeling for me.
We mentioned that you played your high school soccer and also some club soccer for LA Surf. Do you feel that when you were playing at those different competitions that is what prepared you for coming and ready to play this? Because that's pretty high quality competition you were part of.
Yeah, I played at LA Surf, and I also would play with San Diego Surf as well. And I trained with a lot of boys before I came to college and just growing up. So I think that helped a lot with the speed and the kind of aggressiveness side to it.
Have you played any other sports when you were growing up? And has soccer always been kind of the sport that you gravitated toward, or was it something maybe a little bit later in your career?
I played a lot of sports. I played soccer, I played basketball, baseball, softball, football when I was younger too. But soccer was always the one that I enjoyed most and I had the most fun doing, so I really loved it. Yeah.
What is it about the game that you love that made you keep coming back to that above the other sports?
I think soccer just makes me happy, and it gives me kind of an outlet to just be myself and do what I love. And obviously it brings me a lot of great relationships, just a lot of great people like my friends, and I've met a lot of amazing friends here at Washington State as well, and it's just what I love.
I mean, the one thing about soccer that it seems, and again, you're talking to somebody that obviously never played, I don't know about obviously, but never played high school, never played anything as far, but I love the game. And what I love about the game is that it seems like when you talk about team games, and I mean, obviously there's team sports, and every team sport is always, it's fun to watch how each teammate can make each better but I mean, soccer just seems like it's so much different because, again, you all kind of have to be on the same page. You kind of all have to follow the scout because, again, especially in this sport, one mistake, one opening where you can score a goal, I mean, it can dictate whether you win or lose a game or end up in a tie.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Definitely,
and is that part of what you like about it?
Yeah, I think it is a very team-oriented game, and it's kind of you all have to come together as one and play as one and figure things out as one and just do it as a team and as a family.
Yeah, again, we'll get ready for a couple of home matches where you can come out and watch Megan, watch her teammates. Again, they're going to be in town at Lower Soccer Field, taking on St. Mary's Wednesday, Portland coming up on Saturday. Do you mind sticking with us for one more segment? All right, we'll have her. That's no, you don't mind. No, I'm not going to stick with you, right? No.
Yeah.
All right. So, I was hoping that she's okay. All right, we'll be back. We'll take a break. When we come back, Megan, Todd, myself, we're live from Zeppos. Happy to have you with us here. It's your WSU Cougars Soccer Coaches Show, and it is brought to you by Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate
Fall is here
responsibly.
and
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Fall is here and so is football season. But before you hit the stands, let's get your look game ready at the Man Shop. From straight razor fades giving your haircut a sharp polished finish to hot towel shaves that'll make your face feel as sleek as a polished stone. Not to mention beard shaping and goatee services and a full line of grooming products. Located at 1025 East Main, the Man Shop is a go-to spot for a fresh look this football season. So before you cheer on the Cougs, make sure your hair and beard are in top form. Visit the Man Shop today, where every cut is a win.
There's some great sports action happening on your Pullman radio stations, and you can be a part of it. We broadcast WSU football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and baseball, along with the WSU coaches shows. We also carry Pullman High School football, boys and girls basketball, and PHS baseball. Now, sponsorship packages are available for you to reach our listeners. Don't miss out on this opportunity to let our local community know about your business and what you can do for them. To advertise, call 509-332-6551, and we'll take good care of you.
Well, it is your WSU Soccer Coaches Show with the head coach of Washington State University Soccer, Todd Shulenberger. Again, also getting a chance to visit with Megan Santa Cruz out of California, who is a midfielder for Washington State University. Again, Cougars coming off of a trip to L.A. where they took on both the Pepperdine Waves and Loyola Marymount. Were able to get that draw against Loyola Marymount. Getting set now for a couple of home games, Megan, and talk to me about what it's like to play at Lower Soccer Field in Pullman, especially when you got a full house there, and how important are these next couple of games going to be for you and the team?
Yeah, I think these next games are really important for us because we just need to go out there and give it our all and give it a lot of intensity and kind of bring home the wins. I think these past couple of games we've been doing everything right and doing what we needed to do, and it just wasn't really falling for us. So I think these next couple of games we have a great opportunity to get a win.
Do you feel like you're kind of sitting there and you're on the doorstep and you're knocking on the door and you're just waiting for that door to come open, and when it does, you guys are ready to crash through and announce your presence for the rest of the season?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of just like open the floodgates type of thing.
And what about for you personally? Obviously, got the big goal down in Malibu. How do you think you've been playing these last couple of weeks? And do you feel maybe a little bit of, I don't know if resurgence is the right word, but do you feel like maybe you're playing some of your best soccer right now?
Yeah, I think the games in California definitely gave me a bit more confidence with the assists and the goal. Ultimately, I just got to keep staying focused on what's important and just playing the game that I know how to play.
So, offense, defense, is there one that you take more pride in, or is it all well-rounded? Not more pride in. Is there one that you have more fun playing? Is it on the offensive side or the defensive side? Let's go with that.
I think on the offensive side, I definitely get more opportunity to be more creative. But defensively, I also like being aggressive, and I kind of like getting into tackles and winning the ball for the team as well.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
We talked to Todd about what he saw in you. What did you see in Washington State University? What made you want to come here to the Palouse and become a Cougar and play for Washington State?
I think on my visit, I just really had a great feeling about it, and all the girls on the team and the girls that I had on my visits, some of them still play here now and played last year. They were just really nice and really welcoming, and I just got really good vibes from it.
And now that you've got obviously a couple months under your belt, a couple of road trips under your belt, what are some of the teammates like maybe you didn't get to know at the start of the season, maybe some of the freshmen? I mean, you feel like you guys are kind of coming together as a team here midway through the season?
Yeah, I think a lot of the freshmen and a lot of the transfers have a lot of personality. I think they've been doing well, and I think our team together has also been gelling really well, and on the trips we've been getting closer and all kind of just enjoying each other's presence together.
Is there a teammate, and I don't want to spill the beans too much, but is there a teammate that has a hidden talent that maybe everybody should know, whether they're a good singer or a good dancer or a good maybe a stand-up? Is there anybody that has a hidden talent on their team that you think it needs to be known, and now's the time to let everybody know?
I think that Nina and Leah are both great singers, and they love to do duets together, but they both sing a lot, and they're actually really good at singing.
And how about you? You ever?
I don't sing much.
Yeah, okay.
I let them do the singing.
Okay. Todd sing at all?
I've never heard him sing. Would you like to sing now?
I can't sing. I'm not a good singer.
I think I've asked you that before.
I'm like Megan, yeah.
All right. Again, let's talk a little bit more about, again, as we keep bringing these young players to the camera and onto these coaches shows, just how special these young players are. Because, again, you look at this young lady, and I mean, she's remarkable. I mean, she's not only a great athlete, but I mean, you can tell right now. I mean, just a solid person.
Yeah, full personality. Very great in the community. Very great with her teammates. Very great, coachable, and does a great job in the classroom. So, what more can you ask for? And Megan's another prime example why we recruit great young ladies here to Washington State.
Megan, sophomore now at Washington State. Have you settled in on anything as far as when it comes to studies, as far as a major, anything like that? How's the school aspect of it going for you?
It's been going great. I think I'm set on being I've been in the business school, and I think I'm going to do marketing in business. Yeah. Is
that something that you thought that you'd enjoy, or is it just something you kind of have been able to? Is it something that was not even on your radar, and you just thought, hey, that's what I mean? How's that kind of gone for you?
Yeah. Well, I've always enjoyed kind of like the marketing aspect in sports, so I just thought that would be a good fit because I play sports and I understand it, and then if I could do marketing or have that kind of degree would be good for me.
And obviously such a young player, maybe dreams of playing professionally as well, maybe for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to play pro.
Yeah, and so again, as we are moving along here, what is your kind of concentration as you get going here for this week and these next couple of games as far as you and for the team is to try and get these two big wins?
Yeah, I think we're concentrating a lot on just being aggressive and kind of starting off strong. I feel like our slow starts kind of haven't helped us in the past couple of games, but I think coming out the gates really strong and really aggressive will be good because it just sets the tone for the game.
All right. Again, Megan Santa Cruz joining us here on the show. Thank you so much for coming up, and thank you so much for being part of the show. You were fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Again, Megan joining us. So happy to have her here with us. We'll come back, visit more with Todd Shulenberger as we'll continue on. It is your WSU Cougar Soccer Coaches Show live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor and a strong, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. I'm excited to introduce someone who's familiar with achieving greatness.
Hey y'all, this is John Mateer, a quarterback for your Washington State Cougars, and I've got to give a shout out to Krista. I always knew Krista was someone I could rely on. She's always got my back. Thanks, Krista, for being more than just a business associate. You're truly a friend and an ally.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com. ChristaGross.com.
Fall is here and so is football season. But before you hit the stands, let's get your look game ready at the Man Shop. From straight razor fades giving your haircut a sharp polished finish to hot towel shaves that'll make your face feel as sleek as a polished stone. Not to mention beard shaping and goatee services and a full line of grooming products. Located at 1025 East Main, the Man Shop is a go-to spot for a fresh look this football season. So before you cheer on the Cougs, make sure your hair and beard are in top form. Visit the Man Shop today, where every cut is a win.
Well, we welcome you back. It is your Cougars Soccer Coaches Show with head coach of Washington State University Soccer, Todd Shulenberger. Steve Grubbs along with you. Also, a big thanks to Megan Santa Cruz, who joined us on the show as well. Again, the show brought to you in part by Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. As again, the Cougars will be home Wednesday night against St. Mary's. That'll be mental health awareness. And then on Saturday, always an important game for Washington State University, a pink game. Jared has brought us a couple of the scrunchies that'll be given away, these pink scrunchies that will be given away to everybody that shows up here. So again, always a great cause and a couple of great causes this week for your two teams to highlight on mental health awareness on Wednesday, and then, of course, your pink game coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, two great causes we're going to support. Mental health awareness is big, and every family deals with something there at some level, and it's great to see the support we're giving here in the community, and then the breast cancer game on Saturday night as well. Excuse me.
Yeah. So again, couple of games underneath the lights, 7 o'clock. Early look at the weather. Looks like it's going to be another nice weekend here on the Palouse. Good, bad, indifferent.
I think it's great. I mean, you know, it's just the fall in the Palouse is fantastic, and you know, if we were playing. Let's say San Diego was in town, then we want snow, but we're not. So, I mean, Portland, they're used to this, and, you know, San Francisco, they get cold and chilly there, too. So, it'll be a great night. No rain. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, so, again, Washington State University getting set to take on those two schools, the Gales and the Pilots, and a couple of key matchups as far as a couple of teams that are right there in the middle of the conference and want to make the move towards the top of the conference. We were talking with Megan Santa Cruz. Just any other stories about Megan that you want to pass along about when you were recruiting her and what made you think about her coming to Pullman and what made you think about her and was it you that was going after her? Was it one of your assistant coaches that were on her from the beginning?
Yeah.
And just what made you gravitate towards Megan?
I mean, the assistants, Kevin Boyd got on to her early, and you know, I think one of the special things with Megan is she's a competitor, and she's no nonsense, and when she's usually one of the first to practice, and she's usually out there working out, doing extra, and the competitive nature that she drives and pushes, and you know, the moments that we love as coaches to make sure our kids are focused and dialed in, and if there's a soccer junkie out there, that's Megan, which is a good thing.
Meanwhile, for the Cougars here with this final, third of the season, I guess we could call it, with the non-conference and the opening few matches that we've had so far in West Coast Conference play. Again, as we take a look at things, still sitting there with things that are still within our grasp here for the final 4 weeks of the season. Do you look also, I don't know, do you get frustrated at some results that you think you could have, or is that pretty much, you can get frustrated, but you got to just ultimately, you got to flush it because you got another match coming up on Wednesday night. You got to flush it.
I mean, we can complain all we want. There's no more overtime. It is what it is. We didn't win the game. We tied. And, you know, I as a competitor, I'll take the Georgia loss and Stanford loss. Outside of that, I'm not satisfied. I mean, that's just where we're at. And the goal could have went this way, could have went that way. We couldn't give a goal here. We scored goals here, could have done more. The bottom line is this stuff. You really look into our team, we are a good team. We don't give up a lot. Every game is right to the wire.
Absolutely.
Now, as a coach, that's stressful. As a player, they got to be able to handle that, right? That's what life's about. You got ups and downs, and you got to be able to bounce at it. You can't find a way to make an excuse. I can so easily right now for me to blame what happened in that Pepperdine game, and I'm not going to do it. We lost, shorthanded or not, we lost. So we have to now move forward and flush and go.
Yeah, and so with that, it's just kind of, I guess, is it rising above whatever challenges face? And I don't know if it's cliches, but sports cliches are cliches for a reason. They're there because they're ultimately true. And it's just, again, about at this point in time, we're a team that ultimately we're going to need to win games down the stretch, and we're going to have to do what it takes to win these games down the stretch to do what we ultimately want to do here in 2024.
Yeah, that's training environments. That's habit. It's mentality. It's stressing them out. It's whatever you want to call it. The reality is that, and we have to be able to handle those moments. And older veteran teams usually can handle it more than younger teams, and that's not an excuse for the realities, but they just have to understand how to win and how not to lose. And unfortunately, the last 2 games, tie and loss, we didn't know how to win or close it out. We were leading in both games.
Mm-hmm. Is that a combination thing from players and coaches and players, as far as making sure that mentality? Because you can say all you want, but the players also have to go out and do it. And so, I mean, there's a shared responsibility there.
There is,
correct?
but as a leader, I'm going to say as a leader,
sure.
I've got to put it back on me because that's just who I am, right? So they didn't do the job right. It's not on them, it's on me. So that's just where we're going to end. That's where the buck stops with me. And we have to do a better job of putting them in those environments to make sure they understand that. Obviously, yes, I can't put the ball in the net, but that's not. I'm not putting that on. It's we could have done a better job as a staff, and we need to do it then.
When you got the couple of first half goals against Malibu, did you think that okay, this is kind of where offense is starting to click, and have you seen anything over the course of the last week of where you think goals could be coming at a higher clip for this team?
We did, but I also knew that every game was going to be tight. That's just where we're at. We talked about today. We said it before the game. Every game is going to be tight, and we have to, as a staff and a team, be able to handle that pressure in those moments. And we've done a lot of that. There's been a lot of one-goal games. We've done that. And but, probably what I take away from this is that the 10th or 13th ranked team in America, that we were down and actually dictated the play and we're in control. We were down, and we had a response right back and scored 2 quick goals.
Yeah.
That was fun to see. But as you know, it didn't turn out the way it should at the end.
Right. All right. Again, with the head coach of Washington State University Soccer, looking for some of those positive results. Again, St. Mary's, Portland, then trips to Gonzaga, Bay Area to take on Santa Clara, San Francisco, and then Oregon State and Pacific. You can always follow along not only on socials but at WSUCougars.com. And again, your next matchup for the Cougars is going to be taking place Wednesday night when the St. Mary's Gales come to town. All right, couple of quick segments still to go. Happy to have you with us live from Zippos. It is your Cougar Soccer Coaches Show with the head coach, Todd Shulenberger, and we're back after this from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
There's some great sports action happening on your Pullman radio stations, and you can be a part of it. We broadcast WSU football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and baseball, along with the WSU coaches shows. We also carry Pullman High School football, boys and girls basketball, and PHS baseball. Now, sponsorship packages are available for you to reach our listeners. Don't miss out on this opportunity to let our local community know about your business and what you can do for them. To advertise, call 509-332-6551, and we'll take good care of you.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor and a strong, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. I'm excited to introduce someone who's familiar with achieving greatness.
Hey y'all, this is John Mateer, a quarterback for your Washington State Cougars, and I've got to give a shout out to Krista. I always knew Krista was someone I could rely on. She's always got my back. Thanks, Krista, for being more than just a business associate. You're truly a friend and an ally.
I'm Krista Gross, your lifelong realtor. Find me online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com.
WSU Soccer Coaches Show with me, head coach of Washington State University Soccer, Todd Shulenberger, as we get ready here in the month of October for another busy week of Cougar athletics. Men's golf competing as yesterday and also today and into tomorrow. They'll be at the Oregon State Invitational. Of course, we've got Cougar Soccer in town this week. They're the one team in town, so come on out and support the Cougars as they will be taking on St. Mary's in Portland. Volleyball We'll be at Stockton to take on Pacific, and then over to Moraga to take on St. Mary's. Coach Dickert will be back here Thursday night right here at Zippo. So we'll have the Cougar Football Hour once again on Thursday as they get ready for their matchup at Fresno State. And then, of course, again Saturday night, the Cougars versus Loyola Marymount is again fall sports up and running here. I said Loyola Marymount, but it's Portland, my mistake there. It's St. Mary's and then Portland coming into town on Saturday night. I know that as you were getting set for the trip to L.A., Coach, you said you were going to pack your pickleball racket. Did you get onto a pickleball court at all while you were in Southern California?
I'll tell you, down there, and Scott was with me the day we went down to the Muscle Beach area. It's just a big sightseeing thing, whatever.
Sure.
But they play paddle tennis, and there's no pickleball allowed. And Bill's known this, and Bill's in the house, that this paddle tennis, it's a little bit larger racket. It's in between a tennis racket and a pickleball racket.
Okay.
And it's a tennis ball. And, I mean, those guys are beating Bill, by the way. They're good down there. They're pros.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so they didn't have pickleball because you weren't allowed on there, but they were that good.
Okay.
So it was fun to watch. Scott and I took a walk down there one morning and watched that. It was a bunch of ex-players and pro tennis players. They were playing now paddle tennis, they call it.
Paddle tennis.
Yeah. That's a Southern California thing, I guess.
Or then you didn't pick up a racket.
We didn't, but we'll be playing this week. Bill will be out. My friend Marco here, my staff. We'll get some games in this week for sure.
Little pickleball. Is there a tournament of some sort? Is there?
We will make one.
We will make one. Okay. The next coach's show, I'd like to know the results of that tournament. Who's the favorite? Would it be you? Would it be Bill? Would it be somebody else?
I mean, I'm going to give it to legend. He's the legend. It's Bill. I mean, I'm a close. If there's a 1B, I'm 1B, and Bill will know that. But he's 1A, and then my staff and Marco, this will be all great matches. So we'll get it on. Stay tuned, Pullman, because we'll be live this week playing for sure.
All right. Maybe you need to find a station to put that in live and on the air and do a little play-by-play from the pickleball courts. Any other? I saw your assistants, by the way, last week, and a couple of your fans back there playing darts. Did you get any part of that action here at Zeppo's? Or have you been known to throw a dart or two as well?
I'm an athlete. I can throw a dart. But, yes, I played a little bit. And Scott and I teamed up, and Justin was in the house, so we did, yes. We played some darts. I mean, rather play some blackjack, but there's no blackjack, so we played some darts.
So you played some darts. All right, so there you have it. Again, happy to have you with us again. We are live from Zeppo's, again, the Washington State University Cougar Soccer Coaches Show with the head coach of Washington State University Women's Soccer, Todd Shulenberger. As you take a look at these next couple of matchups that are coming up here, Coach, and you take a look at your group as you get ready, take us through what you have got planned for the week. Did you give them a day off Sunday, and then is it pretty much take us through what you got on
Yeah,
on the
we
schedule?
traveled back yesterday, had the rest of the day off. It was a tough travel. I mean, we were in L.A. from Tuesday to Sunday, basically. We took the rest of the day off, had a good session today, light one tomorrow, and here we go again on Wednesday. That's just what happens in the season. It's a quick turnaround. They got to recover right and do the right things, and they will.
Is there a group? Is there some players that you're looking at when it comes to these matchups that there's going to be a lot of emphasis on when it comes to this week's preparation and work?
I wouldn't say groups. I just say as the team here, making sure we're staying together and knowing what we just could have done that didn't happen, and believing that the ball is starting to go in the net for us, but now we got to also keep it out.
Do you think, and it's interesting because it seems to me like you've got goal scorers on this team. Do you think it's a collective, or do you think maybe one person gets hot? Maybe, I mean, I'm sure you take goals anyway that they would come, right, at this point in time?
Yeah, we have numerous people that can do it. So, yes, I don't think it's one particular person in mind, but numerous people can do it, and we got to keep them hot and keep them rolling.
Defensively, how do you think you guys played over the last couple of matches?
Really good, I do. I think our back line has done a great job, including Nadia. Our center backs, Reese and Jen, I can't say enough about what they've done, and Nina's here and what she's done, our outside backs. So, but, yeah, I've been proud with our defense, for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah, again, Washington State University and, again, St. Mary's taking place Wednesday night, Portland on Saturday night. Let's see here. We are getting close to the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and take one more break here. When we return back, we'll be with the head coach of Washington State University Soccer, Todd Shulenberger. We'll continue to wrap things up here from Pullman. It's live from Zeppo's and WSU Soccer. Let's try this again. Your WSU Cougar Soccer Coaches Show from Lairfield.
Hey, Kook fans! Can't decide what to do with your late night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
With the WSU debit card from Gisa, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them grow their money with Smart Plus checking. So, does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Gisa.com. Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Fall is here, and so is football season. But before you hit the stands, let's get your look game ready at the Man Shop. From straight razor fades giving your haircut a sharp, polished finish, to hot towel shaves that'll make your face feel as sleek as a polished stone. Not to mention beard shaping and goatee services, and a full line of grooming products. Located at 1025 East Main, the Man Shop is a go-to spot for a fresh look this football season. So before you cheer on the Cougs, make sure your hair and beard are in top form. Visit the Man Shop today, where every cut is a win.
There's some great sports action happening on your Pullman radio stations, and you can be a part of it. We broadcast WSU football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, and baseball, along with the WSU coaches shows. We also carry Pullman High School football, boys and girls basketball, and PHS baseball. Now, sponsorship packages are available for you to reach our listeners. Don't miss out on this opportunity to let our local community know about your business and what you can do for them. To advertise, call 509-332-6551, and we'll take good care of you.
Well, Steve Robbins, welcome back here again. It is Zeppo's, the place where the Blues comes to play and eat, and host of your Cougar Soccer Coaches Shows right here on Monday nights with the head coach of Washington State University Soccer, Todd Shulenberger. Again, U.S. Bank, a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Again, St. Mary's and Portland coming up. 10 matches total in the West Coast Conference. This will be matches 4 and 5 coming up, if I have that right. Let's see. You played San Diego, yep. Pepperdine, Lily, Marymount. Do you break it up into first half, second half, or is it more of just this is the weekend, this is match by match, or do you break it up into, okay, this is the first half of conference play, this is the second half of conference play?
No, it's pretty much game for game from me. Yeah. I mean, just.
Well, I think it's different in some other sports when it's round robin and you have homes and aways, but for you guys, it's got to be more just.
And there's no conference tournament, so it has to be game by game. Yeah, that's what matters. It's just one game by game.
You guys have certain benchmarks or certain goals that you have going into games as far as we want to have this many corner kicks, we want to do this many, or do you have certain things like on a board that you try and accomplish in a match when you go into a match, say, on Wednesday night or into a weekend of matches?
I wouldn't say it's a certain, but I would tell you normally when we out corner kick someone, out shoot them, that's always high on our priority list. And I will say out foul them, right? Because at the end of the day, we're physically taking control of the game there. I think it's big on scoring on key moments in the game as well. And starting the game correctly, finishing the half correctly, starting the half correctly, and finishing the game correctly is always big for us. And, and time of possession and how we're going to keep the ball during that match.
You talked about the 90 minutes, and we're kind of breaking it down there. Is there a portion of the game that you think maybe we haven't been as good as that we need to be here down the stretch for the Cougars to have the best amount of success?
Yeah, I mean, I think starting the game right now.
Megan brought that up,
Megan
didn't she?
That, but we did score first against Loyola Marymount. But again, I just feel like we have to find a way to start the game better. And it's not necessarily we're actually going down. It's just the ball needs to be in their half more versus our half. And it just has the comfort level. And that's what happened at Pepperdine there. We came out a little timid. And then all of a sudden we're down like, okay, wait a minute, we're better this team, let's go. So that part to me has to be big. And we just got to learn how to close out games. And we've done that with some one-0 tight games, Georgia Southern, and we did it against San Diego last week, Montana, Idaho. Yep. We've done that, but then there's games where we let things slip in. Irvine, these ties we've had, for these 4 ties. I mean, that's just letting game slip away there. It was a bit difficult.
As far as the subs and the starters, how do you feel? Has it been a group that has been particularly good for you as far as some when you're making your subs on either the first or second half?
I will say for sure, and I said this at halftime at Pepperdine, this is no joke, that the reserve group came in and kicked you-know-what. They did a great job. They upped the tempo of the game. We were down, and they found a way to get us 2 goals. So we're quick to point that out, and that's a big deal. If our bench can be loud and proud and our bench come in and make a statement, that's a good thing.
Who's been kind of the leaders of that second wave that have come out for you, especially recently?
It just depends who we're starting that day.
Okay.
Because our lineup has changed every game. I'd be willing to bet right now that we could say that out of we played 12 games, I would say at least there's been 11 different starting lineups. So it's hard to pinpoint just who it is. There's kids you feel like, they might be better off the bench versus starting, but that's digging too deep right now because I don't think we've been consistent enough to know who's going to actually start each game to make that happen.
Is that something that comes down to you? Is it something you as a staff decide when it comes in? Is it something that has to do with matchups? I mean, I don't want to dig too deep here, but as far as when you decide on who your starting 11 is going to be?
Yeah, it's based on the practice performance. I mean, they could be great on Saturday night, but they have to be great on Monday at practice. So we're watching all the way. Like, I have an idea who's going to start on Wednesday, but they have to take care of business tomorrow in practice for that to validate. And I'm obviously the stamp of approval, and we all will have our little meetings in the coach's room, and we'll all have our points and pick who we want. At the end of the day, I'll get a stamped approval, and I'm going to make the final call.
Again, 2 matches at home, St. Mary's and Portland. We talked about it. It's not necessarily make or break, but it's obviously 2 big matches here at home, and we've talked about protecting Lower Soccer Field. After that, again, we mentioned the short trip to Gonzaga, and then a trip to the Bay Area before you open up or before you wrap up the season against Oregon State and Pacific. I mean, again, this is a group of games right here over the course of the next 4 weeks that, I mean, do you like the way the schedule sets up for you here in the back half of the conference? Or I mean, obviously.
I mean, we do. I mean, these next 3 are huge. If we can take care of business, going to Santa Clara will be a must. But we can't worry about that now. It has to be down. It has to be. And as you've said before, I'm not a sugarcoat, and the girls know that too. It's game on this week. We got to go.
Is there anybody in the conference that has surprised you so far, as far as their level of play so far throughout either West Coast Conference play or throughout the 2024 season?
Not really. I mean, I was surprised how well Lower Merrimack they stuck to their plan and what they did. They do a good job. I mean, there's 7 or 8 wins for sure for a reason, and they made things difficult. I mean, I don't think there's anything been a surprise other than the fact that I'm actually surprised we got 4 ties, to be honest with you, and where we're at with a couple things. So that's the part that I would be more on us than anybody else.
Yeah. Again, wins instead of ties is what we're looking for here down the stretches. Again, the Washington State University Cougars looking for results, but also looking for W's down the stretch. Again, it is your Cougar Soccer Coaches Show with the head coach, Todd Shulenberger. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. You've had 1 match really since San Diego, UC San Diego, and that was San Diego. How nice is it to be at home this weekend to be ready to try and take care of business at home and have this portion of the schedule, especially after, as you mentioned, spending nearly a week down in Southern California last week.
It feels great. I mean, I don't want to jinx anything. The reality is we haven't lost here yet.
Yep.
Okay, we haven't won every game yet, though we haven't tied. So we've tied some. So the reality is I like that, but there's no giving about that, right? Just because you're sleeping in your own bed, you're eating your food you want to eat, and you're going to practice here, it's just not a given. They got to show up. But I do like the fact we have home games. We're the show in town this week. Let's bring people out there and support these Lady Cougs.
Absolutely. All right, that is going to pretty much wrap things up for us, as we're so happy that you have been with us throughout the course of the last hour. Again, it's been your Cougar Soccer Coaches Show. You can earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest. Also, Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment, Choose Chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Light, a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. Again, Wednesday night in Pullman, Lower Soccer Field, 7 o'clock. It'll be the Cougs taking on St. Mary's. Would love to see you out there. ESPN Plus is also the place. Jake Dickert back here for the Cougar Football Hour. That's going to be on Thursday. And then, of course, Saturday night in Pullman at Lower Soccer Field, Portland coming to town. How about one more round of applause for Megan Santa Cruz and how good she was tonight as well here from Zeppo's. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Thanks to the folks at Zeppo's. Jerry not here, but you did just fine, my friend. Also, Jared, Johnny back on the other end of the line. and our big our head coach, our big guy. He's an athlete, Todd Shulenberger. Happy to have him with me, as always, and happy to have the folks here at Zippos. We'll be back with another Cougar Soccer Coaches Show in the near future. Until then, we say so long. Thank you so much. It's been your Cougar Soccer Coaches Show from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Cougar Soccer Coaches Show with Todd